Welcome, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today. My name is B. Valencia. I'm here representing the graduate school for Idaho State University. A little bit about myself. I do outreach for the graduate school here, and I also do international admissions. So I'm able to help you as far as helping select a program, which today we're talking about dental hygiene, and I'm also able to help you through that. We're going to have JoAnn Gurenlian, who is the graduate program director, and she's going to let you know more about their program specifically. And then later I'll let you know more about how the application works and what we can do for you, and actually show you step by step how the application works. So that way you know what you're doing and we can best assist you in this process. So JoAnn, ready to go?
I'm ready, B. Thanks so much. Hi, everybody. I'm JoAnn Gurenlian. I am the Graduate Program Director and really excited to talk with you today about the Master's Program in Dental Hygiene. We are one of several programs that are originally designed specifically to teach you about dental hygiene and advanced courses in dental hygiene. We are internationally recognized for our expertise in this area, and it's really exciting to have an opportunity to give you the ins and outs about our program. So when I do this, I'm going to tell you as much as I can about it, and then hopefully you'll have an opportunity to ask questions or to email me or call me on the phone and ask me your questions too. Our program is 37 credits long, and it's designed to be very flexible because we know what it's like to be working, to have a family, to be raising children, and to try to get a graduate degree. We live this life ourselves, so we understand what it's like when you feel that you're ready for something else, something more that adds another dimension to your career. So when we designed this program, we thought about how can we give you that advanced education but allow you to work and attend a program. So this program is meant to accommodate you on either a full or part-time basis. The coursework is 97% online. That's right, you don't have to come on campus very much. In fact, only 2 times. So you can be working from home or in between your patients or in between the courses that you're teaching if you're already a dental hygiene educator, and making this program work for you. And one of the things that we think is really special about this is you have an opportunity to build upon the things that you have already done to advance your career. So you're building your resume and adding another dimension to something that you've already started for yourself. So think about where you are right now and where you want to be 3 years, 5 years, 10 years from now, and let us help you get there. So on this slide, I want to share with you some of the courses that are part of the core courses for our graduate program, so that you can see how already you will start building upon a new dimension for yourself. So we start out with some seminar courses so that you can become familiar with your classmates, some of the faculty that are in the program, and the resources that are available through you at Idaho State University. Grad Seminar 1 is one of those on-campus experiences that you will have. We actually have you come to Pocatello, Idaho, and spend a week with us and get to know us better. It's a great experience. The students love coming on campus and getting to meet everybody. And it is one of those times where you say it's life-changing for you because you really get to feel empowered. And you get to have a sense of something new is happening on this journey towards your graduate degree. But then you'll see here are some of the other courses that are available to you. Progressive dental hygiene theory, leadership strategies. You learn to advocate for your profession in a whole new way. Health research is something that is very valuable for you. There's another seminar course later on in your curriculum where you will come back on campus. And this is an opportunity for us to brainstorm ideas for your thesis research. And yes, there is a thesis course that you will take, and everybody goes, oh no, not thesis. But this is an opportunity for you to have a modest research experience. You too will contribute to the body of knowledge for our profession. And this is an opportunity where you may actually do some publishing and some presenting of your research at professional meetings. You'll also see on the next slide that we have some emphasis areas as part of our curriculum. We like to focus you on developing a specialty area so you can specialize in either dental hygiene education or rural and community health. So that's like a public health area for dental hygiene. So when I meet with you to talk about your curriculum plan, this is an opportunity for you to tell me, where do you think your interest lies? Where do you see yourself going? Do you think you'd like to teach, or do you think you might like to work with communities or state organizations? And then we will focus you in the public health domain. So on the next slide, I'll show you some of the courses that are in the dental hygiene area in education. So if you feel that, oh, I really see myself teaching dental hygiene students, you'll take courses in education theory and methods, in clinical instruction, and you'll take an elective course in the education domain and have an education practicum. Now you'll notice that in each of the emphasis areas we have a practicum, and the practicum is like an internship. This is an opportunity for you to gain experience teaching in dental hygiene education. You will find a program in your area, or you can come to Idaho State and teach for a semester. And this gives you an opportunity to gain experience in didactic instruction, in clinical instruction, as well as a modest administrative experience. So you get to try your hand at this and see how you do under the guidance of faculty members from Idaho State, as well as that site where you might be teaching. This gives you a chance to see, what is it like for us as educators? And, you know, it isn't all just as easy as it seems, but it gives you that exposure and experience. And the nice part about this practicum is that when you have that foot in the door, sometimes when there's an open position available, those faculty remember you. That dental hygiene program director says, well, I know that Sue Smith was here and she did her practicum with us and we became very familiar with her. So let's offer her that open faculty position. It's an entree for you to get that teaching position that you've always wanted. What a great opportunity to start that teaching career that you've always wanted. Now, the same thing holds true for rural and community health. So you take courses in global and community health, special care populations. You get to pick an elective in that emphasis area. So again, something that relates to your field that's of interest to you. And then you do a practicum. So again, now this time it's a little bit different because it's not in education, it's in public health. So you might pick a state organization or a community organization. Maybe you work with a Head Start organization or some other group and provide an intervention that is going to improve the oral health of some group. And you evaluate that intervention. Did you meet the needs of the public? And how successful were you? What would you do differently if you were to do that another time? The same thing holds true for that community health practicum as it does for education. There are times where an organization is looking for a dental hygienist or some other person to fill in or to fit a position, and you might apply for that position. Because that group has already worked with you, you might have a leg up for being hired that other people won't have, simply because they know you now and they've worked with you. And in fact, that has happened several times for our students who have been in the program. So you can see how this practicum can be very helpful to advancing your career. These are great opportunities. And so when we're helping you design your practicum, we kind of look forward a little bit to, don't just take the usual, think outside of the box a little bit as to where might this take you down the road. These are very exciting opportunities for you. Sometimes what happens is a student loves the practicum so much that they actually take the practicum as an independent study or an elective and do their practicum again to get additional experience, because these kinds of experiences are just phenomenal and you never know where they lead. So in the next slide, I will tell you a little bit about some of the employment experiences our students have had. We have graduated almost 60 students now in the program, and they are doing some really unique and exciting things. So, of course, our students are in dental hygiene, our graduates are in dental hygiene education, and many of them are faculty members either on a full or part-time basis. Some students are clinical coordinators, and some students are directors of dental hygiene programs. And we are really excited about the fact that they are educating the future leaders of our profession, and they themselves are future leaders of our profession. Some are actually having leadership roles by being very active in the American Dental Hygienists Association and the American Dental Educators Association as well. So we have started them on a path that's very influential for the future of our profession and our discipline, and really think this is probably one of the most exciting accomplishments that comes from our graduate program. But in addition, there are other careers available to you, because maybe you're thinking, well, I don't want to be an educator, but I certainly want some other opportunity. And so is dental public health, another opportunity to improve the health of the public. And there are graduates of ours who are working for state organizations, public health organizations. There's one of our graduates who heads the Idaho Oral Health Organization. There are others who are with Michigan's public health state organization. Some are involved in community organizations for the state of Washington. So you will have a chance to see yourself maybe working in another arena where you are actually affecting change and improving the health of the public. Some of our students really love research, and maybe this is an opportunity for you to see yourself doing something where you're actually looking at, how do I change things in terms of clinical research or another type of research where you're looking at, can I make an improvement, or will something be designed differently because of the research that I am doing? And research is a career into itself that can be very exciting. Some individuals want to be program administrators, and they see themselves in that role as being a head of a department. And so that is an opportunity for many of you to think of for yourself. And others like the corporate world, and maybe you see yourself with in a sales position, or working for maybe Colgate or Crest, or one of the companies that produces some of the products that we use. So the world is your oyster, and that is my point about employment opportunities. There are times where you see yourself in one of these roles and you think about applying, but you'll look at the job ad and it will say master's preferred, or must have a master's degree to apply for this position. And so here is your chance. You will have that degree and you'll have the opportunity to apply for that position. And again, it opens so many doors for you. And I remember myself getting my master's degree and thinking about what I want to do. And there's been so many opportunities presented to me because I've had that degree. So we look at prerequisites now. If you want to apply to this program, how do you get in? How do you get through the door? So it's not that hard, I have to tell you, because you're already almost there. The first thing you have to do is have a bachelor's degree, and it does not have to be in dental hygiene. You can have your bachelor's degree in art or history or, almost anything else, but you do need a bachelor's degree. Or you can be finishing your bachelor's degree and you're a semester away and you can apply to our program. You must have graduated from an accredited entry-level dental hygiene program. And I have to be specific about this. It has to be a fully accredited dental hygiene program. So make sure that your program has been accredited by the Commission on Dental Accreditation, and that your college itself is also an accredited college or university. You must also be a licensed dental hygienist. So it can be, your license can come from any state, or if you're an international dental hygienist, you have to be licensed from your country, but you must have a license. And we'll ask you to give us a copy of that as part of your admissions process. When you take health research, we ask that you have completed a statistics course. You don't have to come into the program with that course completed, but while you're in our program, we will ask you to have completed a statistics course. But here's the great news. If you haven't completed your statistics course and you come into the program, you're enrolled in our program, and you take the statistics course at the graduate level, that can count as your general elective. So you kind of get a 2-for-1 if you haven't had that statistics course. In your dental hygiene curriculum, if you've taken local anesthesia and nitrous oxide, that works in your favor as well. It is not a requirement, but we do prefer that you have that. And it works in your favor, especially if you see yourself going into an area where you're going to be providing care for individuals at an advanced practitioner level. And the last thing is we'd like to have 2 letters of recommendation. Now, one of them, it's helpful if that comes from somebody that has been associated with you as a faculty member from your, one of your programs, preferably your entry-level program, and also a letter of recommendation if you've been working in private practice, or you're working as an educator, or if you're already in public health or some other area, somebody who's been working with you and knows you and can tell us a little bit about you as a person and what you're like to work with. That's all good information for us to know. So those are the prerequisites, and Bea will tell you a little bit more about that later as she's going through the admissions process. As we continue on, you're probably thinking, well, this is all great information, but oh boy, what is it going to cost me to come to this program? What is my investment in this program? I think this is great information to understand, and students ask me this, or potential applicants ask me this all the time, and I don't want you to think I'm hedging on this, but part of this depends on how long it takes you to go through the program and how long you want to take to go through the program. If you remember, I said students can attend on a full or part-time basis. So tuition might vary depending on if you're a full or part-time student. I said that the program is 97% online. So the great news for you is almost no matter where you are, you might qualify for in-state tuition. And boy, that is a big relief for you if you're looking at our tuition costs. There is a general tuition cost, depending if you're full or part-time, and then a professional fee that's assessed per credit. And all of that gets bundled into sort of one big fee that's a part of this. And if I'm going to give you a rough estimate, and then don't hold me to it because it will change depending on what year you apply, because fees may go up. And then it varies a little bit depending on, again, if you're full or part-time. So rough estimate, you're somewhere around $22,700. That's a ballpark figure, and that will vary a little bit depending on some things. And then you have to factor in costs for books, because your courses will vary a little bit, and each instructor may require you to have 1 or 2 books per course. So kind of, ballparking that again, that may vary a little bit. And I know students are really astute and they know how to use all of the websites for buying their books, and we know what that's like. But I will tell you that I very strongly believe that when you're making this investment in yourself, you should also make an investment in researching scholarships, grants, and loans that are available to you to help cut those costs. And think about this from the standpoint of what might I be able to do to help ease my financial burden while I'm in school. We know you're working. We know you might have a family, and maybe you hope to send some children to college someday as well. So why not take this time and look at what's available to you in the scholarship and grant department? And I will tell you, as a licensed dental hygienist, if you are a member of the American Dental Hygienists Association, you are eligible for some scholarships in the graduate section, and you should take advantage of applying for those kinds of scholarships. There will be other scholarships as well, and I often tell those that I interview, you should go make friends with your local librarian, because your librarian can help you identify some of those more obscure scholarships that are in your community, or maybe somewhat locally or regionally available, that have weird names that no one knows about. And it's well worth it for you to write the 500 or 1,000 word essay and apply for those scholarships. And I will give you an example of that. My daughter's allergist told her about a scholarship for an athlete with asthma, and she applied for that when she was going to medical school and got a $5,000 scholarship because she was an athlete with asthma. So it pays to learn about these somewhat obscure scholarships, because that's the kind of thing you don't have to pay back. And another thing is to be creative. If you're working in clinical practice, you may want to talk to your employer about partially funding you through your graduate education. And there are some of our students who've written business proposals with their employers, and their employers have partially or fully funded their graduate education, in return for which that student has worked for their employer for several years and used what they've learned through their master's program to help improve their employer's practice. And I think that's a win-win situation. So think about those kinds of things, because again, this is an investment in your future, and it can also help someone else's future and the patients that you serve. So why not think about it from that standpoint? So when we look beyond this to the next slide, let's kind of summarize a little bit of this. When we meet with you, when we first get to know you a little bit, and you are with us in Grad Seminar 1, and then throughout the program, we'll ask you from time to time, where do you want to be 5 years from now? Where do you see yourself? And what are some of your goals? And we'll actually have you start an e-portfolio and a resume. And we'll look at that and visit that from time to time and say, how do we get you there? How do we help you achieve those goals? Let's put you on the path from the moment you start with us to the moment you graduate, and help you realize some of those goals. And our job is to give you some of those skill sets while you're with us and then beyond. You think about graduating someday and getting that degree and walking away from us, but we think of it as being with you on a journey. And even when you are alumni, we want to work with you and support you. So you can call us and say, I'm still working on that one goal. Can you help us? Can you help me achieve that? Can you help me network and find people who can continue to work with me to gain maybe additional research skills or a new position as beyond what I've done already in research or in education or in public health or whatever it is that you want to do. And yes, the answer is yes. We're always here for you. Just because you've graduated doesn't mean we've left you behind now and we're working with someone else and we'll forget about you. You're part of us. You're part of ISU, and we're a team working with you. We want you to achieve all of the goals that you set for yourself. And remember, you are investing in your future, and we are really excited to see that future come to a realization. And we really want to make sure that when you look back on this, you say, this is the best thing I have done for myself in a long time. And I'm really so happy I chose ISU. So I hope this gives you an opportunity to say, you know, I'm learning a little bit more about the Masters of Science in Dental Hygiene. And if you do want to learn more, you can pick up the phone and call me, or you can email me, and I'm always happy to answer any questions that you have about the program. So thank you for learning more today or in the future about the graduate program. I'm going to take this moment now and turn it over to Bea so she can share with you a little bit more about the admissions process so that when the time comes, you're ready to apply. Thanks for your attention. Bea, it's all yours.
Grad student. Also, I really know the importance of coming to an institution that really provides that mentorship, that really provides those opportunities, and that's something that I myself, going through a program here at Idaho State University, see that. And I do go to the dental hygiene clinic here on campus to get my teeth cleaned, and I see even in the undergrad how invested everyone really is. And I actually knew one of the faculty for a long time, and I really do see that even as someone that's not in this program. I see what your faculty is doing, so that's really exciting to even myself learn more about your program. So I really hope that you all took something from this, and I'll let you know how to apply to this wonderful program and a little bit more about ISU as a whole. We are in Pocatello, Idaho. That is our main campus. We also offer distance learning in Idaho Falls and Twin Falls, but you are an online program, but just know that we do have those resources. If you are in the area, you are able to go to those campuses and use the resources that are provided there. Twin Falls is the smallest one, but if you are in that area, please know that there are resources for you there on that. We are a Carnegie classified doctoral research institution, and that's wonderful. And we do rank at the top 15 lowest public institutions. And I will say that your graduate education here, you still get everything that you're looking for, but the price is amazing. And I can really say that as a graduate student as well. Enrollment, we are a little bit smaller of an institution. There's about 13,000 students on our campus, and of those, about 1,600 are graduate students here and at our other campus locations. And you can see that these are our fees associated. As a non-resident, which for you all, it doesn't even apply because you are doing an online program, which is amazing that you can pay that. A lot more. So please be aware that your tuition is a lot cheaper as an online program, and we want to make sure that you are aware of that. And the population in Pocatello, we're not very big, so it's really nice that if you are in this area or you're even willing to come to this area to have more resources, we're a nice little sized town. We do have everything possible for you. We are the smile capital of the world, and we do provide a diverse community here. And I've met people from, I think, multiple countries, and working with international students, obviously, but about 53 countries are represented here at and in the Pocatello area. About the application, you do have to apply online, which is very convenient. So just right here, isu.edu/apply, I will show you a little bit later where our website is and how you can find that. It is a $60 application fee, and you must submit everything in order to pay for that application fee. So you do have requirements that need to be fulfilled before you can actually even pay. So please be aware that if you don't upload something, if you don't upload your license, you will not be able to actually pay for that application, because we want to make sure that you have a complete application for everyone to review. Transcripts, we do allow individuals to have unofficial transcripts uploaded to their online application. That does mean that you do have to have your full institution name. So it cannot say things like ISU, it must be Idaho State University, and it must contain your name. If you have a degree, make sure that that degree is posted on there for us. If you are admitted into the program, we will require official transcripts upon admissions, and you will not be able to register for your courses until we receive those official documents. You can email those to gradadmissions@isu.edu. And right here, I also have our information to where you can mail those, because I do know every institution is different. So some schools definitely allow for online. Some schools just will send them via mail. But please be aware that we do have a lot of undergrad students. So make sure that you do state that you needed to come to the graduate experience. You all do need to have your current dental hygiene license, just like JoAnn stated before, as well as 2 letters of recommendation. The letters of recommendation are actually embedded in the application, and I'll be able to show you how you can submit those. Sometimes people just don't want to do it, or you may have a letter of recommendation from a professor from previously that you just really want to use. And if you have that, or if the professor just wants to send it to us, we're happy to upload that on your application on our end. You do have to have standardized tests for the graduate school. So typically GRE, if you have a 3.5 or higher, I do believe dental hygiene, you waive that, correct? Yeah, so just please be aware that the graduate school does have our own requirements on that. So if you have a 3.5 or higher GPA and your last 60-ish credits, then you will have that GRE waived. And funding and assistantships. This is very important. JoAnn very much touched on this a lot. We really want to make sure that this is available to you and that you can come and that cost is not a big factor in order to get that master's degree. The cost of attendance as an online program and an in-state program, it's not very expensive. And out of state, we do have things like non-resident tuition waivers, which for you, you're online. So you just get that online fee and you get those professional fees. And GATE scholarships, travel scholarships, if there is a conference that you really, really want to present at and you come up with a proposal, you can apply to that and the graduate school can actually help send you to that. So paying for your flight, part of your lodging, anything like that, the graduate school does offer opportunities for you to be able to do that, because we do want you to be researching. We do want you to be presenting, because we want to make sure that you get everything you can from your graduate experience, whether it be an online program and you're in a different place or even a different country, which you could be in this program. So just some reminders, please make sure that you do take your standardized tests within reason. If you take a GRE, your test scores could take anywhere from 3 to 6 weeks to get to ISU. And so please make sure that if you are applying and that there are deadlines, we do get those scores. You can give us unofficial scores and that'll be perfectly fine. When you're uploading documents, please be aware that they're not really large. We've had situations where we just couldn't get things uploaded, but just be aware of that. When you are applying, if you have different last names, I'm not married, but I have 2 last names, so it always gets really interesting when I myself apply to things, or even my driver's license. So if you do have another name, please put that in the application. There is a spot for that. We want to make sure that we get all your information correct, and that if you have a transcript with your maiden name or your married name, that we are putting it on the correct application. And to prevent any delays, don't send any materials to the department. We put everything on this online application. That is why we have this online application, to have a centralized system for everyone, and so they can see everything. So if you send something to the department that's required for us, the department might not realize that it's something that we need, and that it could just hang out, or it could get delayed, or we could have something that we don't really need. So just please be aware that when you're doing this, the online application requires everything that you need. And this is my information. Please call me anytime. You can email me on my ISU email, and then you can always email gradschool@isu.edu. If you have questions as far as that, Some of them I can't always answer, but I'll make sure that someone in dental hygiene, or especially JoAnn, can answer those for you. But I would like to show you where you can find our application, because sometimes I feel like that's a little stressful and it doesn't need to be. So I will show you where our application is housed and how you can do that. So again, isu.edu/apply. This is our main hub for all of our applications. So please make sure that when you're doing this, you go to graduate application, and that will send you there. You do have to create a username. I already have like a fake application, so I can show you guys how to do this. Please make sure you use a username and email. That is pretty simple for you. And please create a password that is not too simple. We don't want to get anybody in your stuff. But this is exactly what everyone's application looks like when you welcome. It just gives you some basic information, and you can read over that if you have any questions, and you can just keep clicking and it'll go step by step. You all are applying for a master's program. So if you're a graduate degree seeking, international degree seeking, just please state that. So we'll do graduate degree seeking, and we're looking at a master's program for the Master of Science in Dental Hygiene. Your name will already be embedded in there from when you created your account, initial, and again, this is important, please provide any other last names. Again, I have 2 last names. I'm not married, but I just have 2 last names, and so that can get a little confusing. So when I applied, I had to do that in there as well. Basic information, social security number, you do not have to provide that. Date of birth, you do. So you can see here, these little asterisks are everything that you need to apply. And if you don't do it, you'll get a little error. So mailing address, please make sure that you put the correct mailing address. If you're admitted, we use this to create your record. If you are an international student, please provide your international address on the permanent address. We do need to have your international address for immigration purposes. And if we don't have that, it just kind of slows down your process if you are admitted into the program. Primary contact information and an alternative email. We do sometimes have questions for you. Something might not look right. We may need to reach out to you. So make sure you give us that information. Citizenship and demographic information. If you're a U.S. citizen, non-immigrant, that means an international student, legal permanent resident, whatever it may be. If you are a veteran, it'll ask you these few questions. You do not have to answer any of these, so please be aware of that. Where you claim your residency for this program, just please state where you are. Residency does differ within different states. So for Idaho, it does have to be a full year prior to the start date of your program. If you need assistance or if you want to get that Idaho residency, we do have an office that can best assist you. As an online program, you will not be charged out-of-state tuition if that is a major concern. So just let us know from when you started. And you do have to answer these few questions if they do apply to you. And the most important part is choosing your program. So you are housed under Division of Health Sciences. So dental hygiene, and you can only apply for the semesters which it is open. So if there's a deadline for this, or if there's another program that you're looking for someone else, they will only be able to choose the semesters that they are admitting in. So say you're interested in fall 18, these are just some deadlines to be aware of. You can choose a campus, Pocatello, or online. Let's just do online. You can choose your concentration right here. So if you want dental hygiene education, like JoAnn mentioned, choose that. Role in community health, you can choose that one if that's what you're interested in. You can let us know. This helps us out where you learned from us. Website search, you're an ISU alum, whatever it may be. If you're interested in other institutions, and of course, you're going to have these security questions. Academic history, this is where I was letting you guys know that we do accept unofficial transcripts. As you can see, please search your institution. This will help us code it correctly, and it'll embed everything for you, so it is a little bit easier for you as well. I did attend Idaho State University for my undergrad, and you can just upload begin and end date, and we go off of the dates that you state. And right here, you will see that you can upload an unofficial document. And if you went anywhere else, even if they were transferred into a different institution, you must let us know that you attended those institutions. I went to WNC, dual credit in high school, so I had to let them know that I went there. And then University of Nevada, Reno. I'm from Nevada, so there's that. And that's how you upload those unofficial documents. You do not have to upload them. You will get emails if you do not upload or send us officials stating that you are missing that, because your application will not be sent to the department until we receive that. Letters of recommendation. This is what I was telling you all about. These letters of recommendation are so easy. It is really nice to be able to just type in somebody's information and they will get an automatic response. So if you are requesting someone to send you a letter, first and last name, the organization, the position, their email, you do have the right to waive or not to waive the access to the recommendation. And then you would just click on this and submit your request for the recommendation. The individual who you have requested for this will get an automated email that states, Valencia has requested a letter of recommendation. Please log into the portal. And they have information, and they just go in and they upload the letter of recommendation, answer a few questions, and it gets uploaded to your application. And it's really convenient, especially if you are if you live, say, in Utah, but you went to school in North Dakota. You don't have to try to kind of find people to get stuff for you. You can send reminders to your recommenders, which is also really nice. Sometimes people are busy. We understand. You can send them a reminder, write them a personal message. If someone just says, you know, I'm so sorry, something came up, I can't do this for you before the deadline, you can actually change your recommender as well. So that's really convenient. We want to make sure this is as easy as possible for you. And you do just need 2 recommenders. The graduate school does require test scores. If you are an international student, dependent on the country where you are from, you will have a different section here at the bottom that requires English language testing. So please be aware of that if you're an international student. GRE, you can say you've taken it, and you can upload it manually, as in put in the numbers and the percentages, or you can upload it, and you can upload an unofficial one. Say that you haven't taken it, just let us know when you anticipate on taking that. So let's say I don't plan on taking it until February 12th, 2018. Put that in there, and that just lets us know that that's when you plan on taking your GRE. There's no program-specific uploads for the dental hygiene program, but you do have to give us your license, as JoAnn and I mentioned previously. This is where you would upload this, and on our end and on the dental hygiene end, we would be able to see this, and that way they can prove that you have your license. Here are the type of documents that can be uploaded. Please make sure 10 megabytes per upload. If not, it'll just look really wonky and it might not upload, so please be aware of that. You don't have a graduate assistantship application on your graduate application. And right here, this is your signature, and if you submit and have everything uploaded that you need, that is your application. You will be able to submit and pay. It is a $60 application fee. If you do an application on the weekend, it has taken a little bit for us to see the application come up. So if it's like Friday afternoon, typically we do have real time, so we'll see your application within seconds that you submitted it. But we have noticed that on Fridays, if it's a little late, it will take us a little bit. So if you just really want to make sure we got your application and it happens to be, on that Friday afternoon, we might not see it right away. But if you submitted Monday and you really want to make sure that it got turned in, you can call us Tuesday and we will definitely see it. We will see what you're missing. And the best part, you can log into your application portal and see everything. You can see if we've received official documents. You can see if the program is reviewing it, because that way you don't have to contact us. Maybe you already are in communication with JoAnn and you're like, you know what, I just want to know if everything's okay. You can send her an email, call them, and then you don't have to deal with us if you don't necessarily want to. So there's that. I really hope this was helpful to you. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact me. I'm happy to help. We want to make sure that you get the best possible and the easiest way in. JoAnn, do you have anything else that you would like to add?
The only thing that I would like to add is that if you're thinking of applying for the fall semester, you want to get your application in the spring. Try to get your application in by mid-April if you can. That's really helpful to us because then we can review everything and I can call and interview you and make sure that you're all set and everything is ready to go. Sometimes students sort of waver about things and then it takes a little bit longer. Applications do take time. Sometimes it takes a little bit of time to get your all of your transcripts in or things like that. So don't delay too long in making your decisions or getting things in. It's really helpful to just try to move things forward a little bit and give us time to process your application. If you're interested in starting in the spring, that's always fall is a good time to get your applications in. If you're thinking you'd like to start in the spring, I forgot to mention that we do have 2 entry points. So we have a fall entry and a spring entry when you're thinking about when would I like to start the program. So we, as I said before, we have a lot of flexibility and entry points are one of our flexibility points as well.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you all for joining us. If you have any questions, please let us know. We hope this was helpful to you and hopefully we talk to you soon.